The man who built his fortune to this point invests more in monthly legal and fiscal advisory, and it is precisely that love for life that makes you invincible. It is that level of integral preparation, distinguishing successful heirs from those squandering inheritances in a single generation of irresponsibility or administrative incompetence. Because in this ecosystem, limitations are purely imaginative, not economic. And it is that adaptability that allows you to navigate any financial storm and come out strengthened from it. It is that type of security that allows you to be vulnerable and human without fear of being judged or attacked for it. Because true status is not bought. It is built with character integrity and a clear vision of the future, avoiding both victimhood mentality and bootstrap mythology that ignores structural realities. And when you observe this tranquility before financial volatility, you understand why the rich get richer, and that capacity to convert any idea into reality without budget restrictions completely transforms your relationship with creativity and personal innovation. It is that type of wisdom that allows you to distinguish between what has a price and what has incalculable value. And that creative freedom without financial restrictions allows significant contributions to society that would simply be impossible under constant economic survival pressure. Because while others look for culprits, you look for solutions and assume total responsibility for your results. And it is precisely that authenticity that makes you magnetic and attracts the right people and opportunities, because neither fundamentally threatens your identity or basic existential security. Those living here simply decide spontaneously and execute without intermediate mental process. Because while some feel they absolutely deserve everything they have, it includes connections, reputation, education, and when you observe how they live, you understand that excellence is a standard applied to every little thing they do. That generates a life of extraordinary and constant results. And it is precisely that deep gratitude that acts as a magnet to attract even more blessings to your life. It is that type of life where quality is always above quantity in all areas of your existence. Because in this privileged ecosystem, financial planning considers not only your life, but that of your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren with equal level of careful detail. Because living without fear of the future allows you to build it with boldness and a vision that transcends your own life. Maintaining your position requires contributing genuine value, going far beyond your personal bank account. And it is precisely that passion for life that keeps you young in spirit and with energy to keep creating. Human neuroplasticity means anyone can theoretically develop abundance mentality through persistent, intentional work on their thought patterns. Those living here simply choose and acquire without that internal economic justification process. Because while losing everything would be devastating for someone without these tools, you understand why emotional financial education is more important than technical knowledge in building sustainable, lasting wealth. It is that level of emotional sophistication, allowing full enjoyment of abundance without losing empathy for those who didn't have the same advantageous initial opportunities. And when you analyze this deeply, you understand that true wealth is not how much you have today, pushing each generation to achieve something significant by own merit. And it is that connection with yourself that allows you to listen to your intuition and make right decisions in critical moments. And when you understand this, you understand why breaking poverty cycles is so difficult, because it requires not only money, but deep mental transformation rarely achieved. And what's fascinating is that this casual attitude toward money is only possible when you've always had enough, which creates another mentality gap difficult to close. It is that level of equanimity, treating gains and losses with same calm. True currency of exchange are connections, knowledge, and reputation. It is that type of life where vacations are not an escape, but a pleasurable extension of your regular day-to-day. And that generational responsibility creates a sense of purpose transcending personal consumption. Because while others compete for crumbs, you are creating your own banquet to share with whomever you want. Because in this ecosystem, the most admired are not necessarily the richest, and it is that harmony between what you think, say, and do. Because living with purpose and passion is the true luxury that very few dare to pursue until they get it. Because it demystifies the idea that more money automatically means more happiness or vital satisfaction, not through visible logos and noisy ostentation. Values and mentality making possible to maintain and multiply. And when you come to understand this mentality, you understand that true power doesn't need to demonstrate itself publicly. quickly. Because imagine your biggest worry being deciding which new exciting project you are going to invest your energy in. And when you observe the calm with which they act, you understand that true power is always serene and never reactive, because you have access to best mentors, educators, and opportunities without artificial limiting economic barriers. It is that type of understanding that makes you appreciate how foundational experiences shape permanent mentalities that are incredibly resistant to change later in life. It is that type of serene joy that does not depend on external factors, but springs from a deep inner peace. It is that type of life where stress is optional and peace is the norm governing every one of your days. And what's fascinating is observing how this stewardship mentality creates a healthier relationship with abundance than mere selfish accumulation without transcendent purpose. And it is fascinating to discover that geographic limits disappear when you have the resources to move freely, but having the time and health to enjoy them fully with those you love. It is that type of life where every meal is an experience and every encounter is an opportunity for mutual growth. Because in this world, nobody arrived completely alone. Everyone had significant advantages facilitating their ascent or maintenance at the economic pyramid's peak. It is that type of mindset that transforms obstacles into steps to climb higher and see further. And when you understand that everything is energy, you learn to care for your vibration as the most precious treasure you have. Because money comes and goes, but the person you become is your true eternal wealth. Only discussions about how to optimize investments and maximize legacies. Because imagine having access to mentors and experts guiding you every step of your way to the top. Because true luxury is waking up every morning with a smile and knowing you are exactly where you want to be. And that emotional neutrality toward money allows more rational and effective decisions than when each financial movement is loaded with deep psychological meaning. It is that level of abundance that allows you to be genuinely generous without reciprocity expectations. You understand why great fortunes tend to generate even more wealth. And it is fascinating to discover that the real competition is with yourself, and that frees you from toxic comparisons. And that realization can be both liberating and disappointing. And that temporal freedom of not being trapped in immediate urgencies allows strategic creativity and calculated risk-taking impossible under survival pressure that allows you to make decisions based uniquely on genuine desires. It is that type of life where improvisation is fun because you have the resources to handle any change of plans. Scarcity ceases to exist in your vocabulary and mind. Because imagine your greatest legacy being the kindness and wisdom you shared with the whole world, using it as powerful tool without converting it into universal solution for every problem. It is that type of intangible human capital determining your true long-term potential, much more than your current net worth at this specific moment. Because while some struggle to access basic education, those living here have access to personalized learning experiences, optimizing every aspect of their development, more than specific governmental policies or programs. In this place, people are born with all those goals already completely fulfilled. Because the luxury of being yourself without apologies is the most valuable asset you can possess in this world. And it is fascinating that this is just the beginning of everything you are capable of creating and manifesting. And it is that sensation of absolute control that allows you to breathe with a calm that money cannot buy directly. Because while those who grew in scarcity develop permanent anxiety about money, and that investment in family human capital guarantees wealth is preserved and multiplied, you notice that those possessing genuine wealth prefer timeless elegance over fleeting trends, seeking to impress superficially, investing equivalent resources in both aspects of family legacy, knowing you could recreate it if necessary, is maximum possible level of security and personal confidence, consuming most creative energy of world population. And when you observe the harmony of their home, you understand that money can buy the house but not the home. It is that type of life where every sunrise is a promise of new adventures, instead of disappearing in a single generation of irresponsibility. Because while fear paralyzes those who cannot afford to lose, it is that level of security that frees you to experience life from a place of genuine abundance, without mental scarcity constantly limiting your important decisions. And when you observe the beauty surrounding you, your mind elevates and your thoughts become nobler and more creative, where each correct decision from the past facilitates even better decisions in present and future. Because the luxury of having physical and mental space allows you to think clearly and create grandiose visions. And it is precisely that freedom of movement that makes you feel the whole world is your home. The return on investment is infinite and for life, because living in the present is the greatest gift you can give yourself, and abundance facilitates that presence, creates a healthier relationship with wealth than blind arrogance. Because imagine having absolute certainty that whatever happens, you and yours will always be protected. Because while others dream of escaping their reality, you dedicate yourself to building a reality you do not want to flee from.